agenda de investimentos entre os dois países. O vice-presidente certamente vai comentar na sua fala, mas já comento aqui também, vice-presidente. Nós tivemos, na véspera da vinda do vice-presidente para cá, a assinatura de 2 decretos no Brasil que visam a facilitação do investimento entre os dois países e a não bitributação também entre os investimentos, o que são 2 passos muito importantes para que, de fato, a gente consiga ampliar ainda mais essa corrente de investimento entre os nossos países. É fato que o investimento indiano no Brasil é quase 10 vezes maior do que o investimento brasileiro na Índia. No entanto, o investimento brasileiro na Índia vem crescendo a taxas 3 vezes maiores do que o nosso investimento em qualquer outro país do mundo. Então isso demonstra, e com casos concretos, por exemplo, como o Embraco, como o VEG, como o Embraer, que o Brasil, de fato, quer ampliar sua parceria com a Índia, quer ampliar os seus investimentos na Índia, de forma a adensar as cadeias produtivas em setores estratégicos, como foi comentado, inclusive, pelo meu colega Agarwal, que são esses temas de fronteira que o mundo todo enfrenta, mas que Brasil e Índia apresentam uma liderança importante nas discussões globais, que são segurança alimentar, transição energética, enfrentamento a questões climáticas. São 2 países de dimensões continentais, são 2 países com populações grandes, obviamente o Brasil não tão grande quanto a Índia, e que, portanto, são países que precisam e podem liderar essas discussões em escala global. Então, eu acredito, vice-presidente, que essa sua vinda, e que, na verdade, tem também um caráter precursor.
Government of Brazil, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, Government of India, His Excellency Mr. Jose Museo Monteiro Filho, Honorable Minister of Defense, Government of Brazil, Mr. Federico Lamego, Superintendent of International Relations, CNI, Ms. Ana Repeza, Director of Business, Apex Brazil, and Mr. Harshvardhan Agarwal, President FICCI and Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Imami Limited. It's both an honor and a privilege to be here at this landmark edition of the India-Brazil Business Dialogue of the Global South. Honorable Shri Piyush Goyal ji, your leadership in driving India's trade and business engagements has been transformative. Your emphasis on fair, balanced and equitable FTAs and your commitment to MSMEs, digital trade and investment facilitation has opened new doors for global partnerships. Honorable Vice President Alckmin, your presence here reaffirms Brazil's strategic intent to deepen ties with India. Your efforts to promote industrial cooperation, expand market access, and foster innovation are deeply appreciated by the Indian industry. I'd like to touch upon few themes which I believe would guide the national agenda going forward between our two nations. First, competitiveness. India's manufacturing capabilities, digital infrastructure, and skilled workforce are increasingly aligned with Brazil's industrial strengths. Whether it's in automotive components, specialty chemicals, aerospace, or agri-tech, there is immense scope for joint ventures, technology transfer, and co-development. As global supply chains diversify, India and Brazil must position themselves as reliable partners in value creation. Second, sustainability. Both our nations are deeply committed to climate-conscious growth. Brazil's leadership in biofuels and renewable energy complements India's push for green hydrogen, solar energy, and circular economy practices. The upcoming COP30 summit in Brazil offers a unique platform to showcase our joint efforts. Third, innovation. From AI and fintech to pharmaceuticals and space technology, innovation is the engine of our future. India's digital public infrastructure like UPI and Aadhaar is being recognized globally. Brazil's expertise in biotechnology and agri-tech can synergize with India's startup ecosystem to create scalable solutions for global challenges. Trust. In a world grappling with trade fragmentation and tariff wars, trust has re-emerged as the cornerstone of economic relationships. India and Brazil must lead by example, building transparent, rules-based, and mutually respectful trade frameworks. The expansion of the India-Mercosur Preferential Trade Agreement is a step in this direction. As co-chairman of the CII International Council, I assure you that Indian industry stands ready to partner with Brazil across sectors, be it in manufacturing, energy, healthcare, education. We are committed to facilitating business-to-business linkages, policy dialogues, and joint initiatives that translate vision into action. I'd also like to highlight that CII was the B20 Secretariat during India's G20 presidency, and as a part of the Troika, we worked very closely with CNI as a run-up to Brazil's B20 presidency. We express our special thanks to CNI for their support over the years of CII as one of our most important MOU partners. Let us not forget the power of people-to-people connections. Cultural exchanges, academic collaborations, and tourism must be encouraged to build lasting bridges between our societies. In closing, I would like to reiterate that this is our shared moment, a moment to redefine South-South cooperation, lead with purpose, and to build a future that is competitive, sustainable, innovative, and trust. The world awaits both of us. Let us seize this opportunity with courage, clarity, and collaboration. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
The exchange of terms of reference. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very confident that this exchange today will serve as a vital platform to deepen economic and business linkage. Our Honorable Minister.
His Excellency, the Honorable Vice President of Brazil, Mr. Geraldo Alckmin, His Excellency, the Honorable Defense Minister of Brazil, Mr. Jose Múcio, friends on the dais, distinguished Excellencies, Ambassadors, Chiefs of the various forces in Brazil, dignitaries from both Brazil and India, members of the delegation, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very warm welcome to honorable ministers, to all our friends from Brazil. Indeed, very grateful to the Honorable Vice President, Mr. Alckmin, who is actually a trained physician, for having taken the time to come to India to strengthen the Brazil-India partnership. In fact, as a doctor, he knows the importance of precise dosage and the perfect formula to get a person in good health. And I think with his laser focus on strengthening the Brazil-India partnership, success can be a foregone conclusion. Thank you very much, Honorable Vice President, for leading the delegation. Thank you, Minister of Defense. Friends, today is the World Food Day. It's a very important day where we celebrate the contribution of our farmers in Brazil and India, and a very appropriate day to further this partnership between Brazil and India. In some sense, two very highly agri-producing nations who not only support food security in our own nations, but also feed the people around the world with high quality agri products, and that makes your visit even more exciting, even more outcome oriented, that it's happening on such an important day. I'm sure that what we will see as outcomes from this visit will set the agenda and a strong foundation to elevate this partnership between Brazil and India. In fact, we are very grateful to Brazil for honoring Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi with your highest honor during the visit to Brazil. By conferring the Grand Collar of the National Order of Southern Cross, you have not only recognized and respected Honorable Prime Minister's contribution to global peace and prosperity, but also given us a lot of respect. 1.4 billion people would like to express their satisfaction and gratitude to you, Excellency, and to President Lula. I remember Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said, and I'd like to quote, "We want the India-Brazil ties to be as colorful as a carnival, as passionate as football." And in that spirit, I think all of us in India would not mind if you are willing to export Neymar. In our good old days, Pele was probably more famous when we were young children, or possibly Ronaldo. But as my son, who's a big football fan, keeps telling me, I thought I'd better stick to asking for Neymar. Excellency, we are also very grateful to you and to Brazil for having included yoga and Ayurveda in your pharmacy systems as alternative medicines, alternative therapies. Both of these are very much respected, very much followed in India, and we are very grateful that later today you will yourself be visiting the Ayurveda Center and helping strengthen this partnership also on traditional Indian medicines. I was very delighted today in the course of our meeting in the morning when you mentioned that the bulk of the Brazilian cattle, the Honorable Defense Minister reminded us, comes from India. It is of Indian origin. So one can say that this partnership is destined and has a very strong foundation in our shared history, in our shared effort to promote a better future for the people of Brazil and India. The growing interest that we see in Brazil for India's culture is also very heartwarming. Whether it is the dance form of Bharatanatyam, whether it is an encouragement to the Ramakrishna mission, all of these also reflect a deep connect between the cultures of Brazil and India and between our effort to bring art and different forms of tradition into our partnership. Excellency, only a few days back, probably 2 days back, the IMF chief has said that, and I quote, "I'm very big on India because of the boldness of their reform." IMF has recently increased or improved the GDP growth forecast for India from 6.4% to 6.6% this year. Our first quarter, April to June 2025, the GDP grew by 7.8%, the fastest growing large GDP in the world, large economy in the world. And we've continued to be the fastest growing large economy over the last 4 years. And our effort is to continue to be the fastest growing large economy for at least another 20 years. Excellency, we have, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, focused on 3 pillars while developing the Indian growth story. One, our effort has been to create strong macroeconomic fundamentals. So whether it is keeping inflation low, whether it is consistently strengthening our growth, whether it's strengthening and fortifying our banking systems, whether it's ensuring that our foreign exchange reserves are strong, and with $700 billion foreign exchange reserves, we are amongst the top 5 countries with large forex reserves. The strong macroeconomic fundamentals sets a threshold on which we can be ambitious in our growth targets, in our effort to promote faster growth. The second pillar of our growth story has been taking modern, high-quality infrastructure to the remotest corners of India to ensure that we have widespread and equitable growth through the length and breadth of India. We believe good infrastructure will help us become more competitive, bring down our logistics costs, and strengthen the ability of India to grow our businesses, provide opportunities for our young men and women to contribute to nation building, create new jobs, create new work opportunities, new business potential, support our startups and entrepreneurs, and therefore investments in infrastructure has been one major focus of this government over the last decade or so. Another area which the Honorable Prime Minister is very deeply focused on is ensuring the ability of our people to have a high quality of life. So in the last 6 months itself, on the one hand, we brought down the tax burden, direct tax burden, income tax burden on our middle class. Only on 22nd of September, we activated our GST, the indirect taxes, the goods and services tax reforms, to bring down the tax rate significantly, simplify business processes, and promote the ability of our people to spend more and look for a better quality of life for their families. In fact, in the last 12 years, India has taken 250 million people out of poverty. And this growing neo-middle class, this growing middle class in the country is today powering our economy, both on the strength of higher consumer spending and also on the back of huge welfare measures that the government of India has taken so that no child born in the country is deprived of the basic needs like food, clothing, shelter, high quality education, good quality health care, and also has access to digital connectivity, 24/7 electricity at their homes, ensuring water reaches every family, every home in the country, providing for a quality of life that empowers the children, empowers the citizens of India to contribute to a better future, both for the nation and for our people. It is these several tracks, whether it is investment spending or welfare spending, whether it's promoting consumer spending, all of these put together define the India growth story. And therefore, Excellency and friends, our effort towards structural reform, our efforts towards ease of doing business, reduce the burden of law, reduce the burden of compliances, make our processes and procedures to run business simpler, are all collectively bearing fruit as India grows to become the third largest GDP in the world in another couple of years' time, and thence grows our $4 trillion GDP today to a $30 or $35 trillion GDP by 2047, our declared aim, the commitment and the mission of 1.4 billion Indians to make India a developed nation, a prosperous nation by 2047 when we celebrate 100 years of independence. It is with this burning desire, this fire in the belly, that 1.4 billion Indians today are working as a team, contributing to national development, are working to ensure inclusive and sustainable growth across the country, to ensure that the last man at the bottom of the pyramid has a better future for him and his family, for his children. And collectively, we as a nation are committed to work in the direction of greater global cooperation. We are expanding our trading relationships, our investment partnerships with different countries across the world, our FTAs with many advanced nations, with many developed countries, are defining the confidence with which India today trades with the rest of the world. Our growing investments in other countries, which Madam also just mentioned, are taking India and Indian businesses across the oceans, and I think we are in some sense doing exactly what President Lula had said, and I'd like to quote, "No one can reap the fruit before planting the trees." We have planted the trees to make fresh beginnings in India, and we are very confident that the people of India, and with us, our partners across the world, will together reap the fruits of these plants, will reap the benefits. We hope to work in that fashion with Brazil. We hope to further strengthen this partnership, and truly we are very grateful for your visit today, which I am sure will plant the seeds of a very defining partnership of a new shared future of prosperity and growth that the people of Brazil and the people of India can be proud of.